Zach Sterniolo, NASCAR.com. Building off of that a little bit, looking at the way the adversity that Kyle and William both had to overcome throughout different moments of this season, in what ways does it feel different from your perspective to see both of them reach the championship for this year?
Yeah, and you know, I didn't want to take anything away from what Dustin was asking about the 5 team, so I'm glad you asked, because in my opinion, the 24 has been through quite a bit, right? Maybe it's not as much personnel in some of those personal challenges as much as it has been performance, right? Where, you know, you win the Daytona 500, you got high expectations, you win a couple other races, and then all of a sudden you have this summer slump where you just feel like you can't do anything right. What, you know, what's happened? You know, is it? And you start doubting yourself as a driver, as a crew chief, as a pit crew member, a mechanic, engineer, whatever, you know, all the way across the board, and you start searching. And I'm just proud of how they searched and found, you know, and found themselves and got back on track the way that they have. But one thing I think that they have done is proven that they're championship caliber this year, not just by winning regular season championship, of what they've had to do that, as well as what they've had to overcome to get themselves in this position, in the pressures that were on them as well. So they're as complete of a race team as I've ever seen right now.
To that point, I think back to this race a couple of years ago when he was struggling to run top 20, and he grounded out and ended up making the championship for that year. But then you fast forward to what this year was, what tonight was, muscling up to pass Ryan there over in turns 1 and 2. How does that speak to how you've seen William grow and adapt as a driver? Yeah, no, he's matured. You know, he's never lacked in effort. You know, he'll have to share with you what kinds of things he does every week prepping for races, but it's unlike anything I've ever seen. And you know, he's just very, very narrowly focused on it. You know, he cuts out distractions and minimizes them. Unlike, you know, we all have things in our life going on, but you know, he's just laser beam right now, and I think that it shows in his effort, his prep, you know, his relationship with his team and Rudy and everybody. And he had that fire today burning and was not going to hold him back. So, yeah, I don't even remember what your question was, but it's just those guys have had to there he is right here. They've had to prove to themselves and a lot of others what they're capable of and what they're made of. And all those tough things that they've been through, to me, is only made them a even stronger team and allowed them to do what they did today.